and today we are back at it again with another story time. So I promised you guys the scary story times that's going to be next week, but for this week I got two story times to tell you guys that is not scary. It is not freaky or nothing to do with sleep paralysis or paranormal activity, and this is one of them, okay? So just wait for next week and then we can get spooky up in this bitch, okay? So let's get started. So as you guys know, a few weeks ago, it was last month, so yeah, a few weeks ago, I went to New York, and the reason for me going to New York is because my grandma who lives in New York wanted to meet my fiance Cameron, okay? So y'all already know how I feel about New York. I love New York. I love New York City. Y'all don't understand, that's like my second home, but I cannot deal with the men's, okay? The male specimens, okay? The non-females in New York. I cannot do it, especially where my grandma lives. I'm not here for it. I'm definitely absent. I made a whole video about it before. In New York, men are vicious. They are so, like, they have no respect for women. They touch you, they grab you, they say nasty things to you, they catcall you. Doesn't matter if you're with your mom, your boyfriend, your daddy, it don't matter. They have absolutely no mercy for the females out there in New York, and I feel so sorry for y'all in New York who have to deal with that every day. I mean, Toronto is bad. Okay, it's pretty bad in Toronto. But when I'm in Toronto, I feel comfortable enough to be like, yo, waste man, move from me, eh? Because you know, one slap and you're out of here, fam. Don't ever try to approach me like that again. They respect me. You know what I mean? So I can't say that in New York because they won't understand what I'm saying, okay? So it's just the disrespect towards women and myself and my friends when I go there that just turn me completely off from New York. I do not like that type of attention. I don't like attention at all unless I am asking for that attention from you. And the only person I'm asking for attention from is Cameron. And I get all the attention I want from Cam. So I don't need no attention. You feel what I'm saying? No type of attention. Any way, shape, form, category, it don't matter. I don't want you looking at me, touching me, telling me I'm pretty. I don't want you grabbing on my... No. It's a no. The answer is no. Okay? And they obviously don't understand what no means. So I don't want to go. You know what I mean? But my granny called me up and she was like, Paris, I really, really want you to come with your fiance. I want to meet him. You know, I don't want to see no pictures. I just want to meet him in person, really get to know him and see who my granddaughter is about to marry, okay? Because I'm her first grandchild who's getting married. So, you know, she's pretty excited or whatever. Anywho, I love my grandma. She like my #1 grandma. Wait, hold up. I have two grannies. They both alive. I apologize. I love y'all both. But she just my #1 grandma. I talked to Cameron. Cameron was like, yeah, I'm down. I'd love to meet your grandma. Like, let's go. So anytime we go to New York, by the way, I used to go to New York every single month until I started growing tits. And then I was like, I'm done. Tits and ass. Can't go to New York no more. Voided. Can't do it. But anyways, I used to go every single month until, yeah, I started developing. So I started going once every 2 months, and then it would get really bad on the streets, and then I was like, I don't want to go anymore at all whatsoever. Especially the last time that I went, that was literally the last time. I was like, I'm never going back to New York. My mom, on the other hand, she goes to New York every single month for the past like 5-6 years because her mom lives in New York. So she goes with her boyfriend all the time, and this is the one time that me, Cameron, my mom, and my mom's boyfriend went together to New York. Anyways, we never take a plane to go to New York. Ever since I was young, we've never taken a plane. It's always been a car or a bus. More recently, within the last 6 years, it's been by car. And I personally don't like long drives because I like to move my legs. I like to, you know, wiggle and stuff, have some room, you know, fresh air and shit like that. You can't have that in a vehicle. I mean, you can have fresh air, but you can't move in a vehicle, you know what I mean? So I don't really like that aspect of it either, you know? There's a lot of things that go into why I don't like to go to New York, okay? I love New York City, don't get me wrong. New York City, like, I love shopping there. I love shopping there, and yeah, and I saw a couple of my subscribers there too. I was like, hi bitches! I saw a couple couple of you guys, and I was so like frightened when you guys came up to me. You're like, hey Paris. I was like, shit, hey bitch. I saw one of you guys in the Weekend store. I saw one of you guys while you were working. I was walking down Jamaica Avenue. I saw one of you guys at the mall. I saw a couple of you guys, a group of you guys at, I don't know what the malls are called, but another mall. I think it's near Manhattan. I could be completely wrong. I don't know. But hello to all of you guys. It was so nice meeting you. You guys were so nice. You guys are a little bit nicer than the people up here in Canada. I can't lie. But can I get to the damn story? I'm over here rambling and shit. Anyway, so another reason why I was going to New York, on top of my grandma wanting to meet Cameron, was that I had a business meeting in New York. Well, the person asked me if I could come to New York and they were going to pay for my flight and all of this. But I was like, I don't want to go to New York at the time. But since I was already going to New York to introduce Cameron to my grandma, I was like, you know what, I'll pay for my own ticket even though I drove, and yeah, we can meet up. So the person who, I can't really give you details on the person and stuff like that and the business venture that we're going through and all that, but all I can say is that the person was like, okay, I want to meet up with you for lunch and we could talk more about what we're planning to do, and you guys will hear about it in the near future. Okay, so I was like, okay, cool, like, yeah, let's go to lunch, but can I bring my grandma, my mama, my mama's boyfriend, and my fiance with me? Because I got social anxiety, and a bitch like me cannot be sitting up in here by myself talking to nobody that I don't know, because I will definitely pass out. Like, that's how bad it is. I cannot. It's not gonna happen. No. So the person, the business person, was like, yeah, sure, bring them all. I'm gonna treat you all to lunch, you know, mimosas, like, you know. I was like, hey, free food. And my mom's boyfriend used to live in New York, so he knows everywhere and where we're going, and like, he doesn't need no GPS. Like, he know where he going. Like, he good. Anyways, the day of the meeting, we get the address to the place. He tells us what time to meet him there and all that. We get to Manhattan, which is where everything was being held. And we're meeting him outside, and we're just talking outside, you know, getting to know one another. I'm introducing him to everybody who, you know, is there. This is my granny, this is my fiance, my mama boyfriend, my mama. You know, we're all getting to know each other, and we're all just vibing. Like, it's a real good vibe. Like, everything is feeling real nice and cozy and wonderful. And I'm just like, I'm ready to eat though. Now, before I tell you what happens next, let me explain to you who my grandmother is. My precious, dear to my heart granny. I love you, grandma. Love you dearly. My grandma is the sweetest, kindest. Like, I know everyone's like, okay, my grandma's sweet and kind too. No, my grandma is sweet like candy and kind like fine wine. That made no sense. But my grandma is sweet. She's kind. She's caring. She's giving. She's loving. She is very... Let me just get a little bit closer so you guys understand the severity of what I'm about to tell you right now. She is very, very, very religious. I'm talking prays every night, wakes up and thanks Jah every day, goes to church every Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. I'm talking about, she is a real life grandma. Okay, not, she ain't your typical grandma. She like grandma times 15 grandma. Like, I mean, she will drop to her knees and praise the Lord if she finds $5 in the corner somewhere, because God, hallelujah, gave it to her. Okay, do you understand the severity of that? All right, let me just go back to my original spot now. So when we got to this place, we didn't know what it was. We didn't know what was going on. We didn't know nothing. Like, literally nothing. We didn't know anything. All I knew was we was getting free food, okay, and talking about business stuff, okay? So while we're talking outside, I see a guy come out of the place that we're about to go into, and he ain't wearing no shirt. Like, he ain't got no top on. I'm seeing nipples. I'm seeing real life pink nipples before my eyes, and I'm like, okay, what's going on in there? Is that where we gonna eat? Because I feel like that's a health hazard. Your nipples just out freely in the air, like the oxygen going through your and into my food. And what's going on? I didn't ask no questions though, but everybody else saw it, including my grandma. And my grandma was a little bit taken back by that, because my grandma don't see stuff like that on a daily basis. My grandma don't even watch TV. You know what I'm saying? She just read the Bible. Anywho, so now we're done talking. We're talking outside for maybe like 20 minutes. We're done talking. He's like, the show's almost done, and I'm like, what show? What are you gonna tell me? I thought we were eating dinner in like a prestige place or something. No, the show's on. I look like Humpty Dumpty. I'm not Humpty Dumpty. Let me go back like this so y'all understand. I'm not Humpty Dumpty. What you're seeing right here is my hips. Okay, I just need to point that out. Anyways, so I'm just like, what show? Again, we didn't ask no questions. We just ready to eat. So we walk up the stairs now, and the first thing can I remind you, my grandmama is with me. We don't know where we are. We don't know what's going on. We just think we're going to eat. We weren't told that there was no show or nothing like that, because if I had known what I had known now, my grandma would have stayed her ass home, honey. Okay? So anyways, we walk up the stairs, and the first thing I hear is, I would lick your like a popsicle, honey. I said, hold on. My grandma is present. She is in attendance. What have you done? Where are we? So once I heard that, I was really taken back. Like, I was like, out loud. I didn't even realize I made that sound or nothing. I was like, and then the business guy, I guess he saw the look on my face, and he said to me, by the way, it's a drag show. So I'm like, okay, this is something I would love to sit down and watch with my friends. I've always wanted to be watching a drag show like live. Like, I'm talking RuPaul live. I would love to watch that with my friends. Okay? No, with my family members. No. This, listen. And it has nothing to do with it being men dressing up. It has nothing to do with that. There's absolutely no problem with that. And although my family's Jamaican, and you guys already know what some Jamaicans are known for, not all of us, because definitely not all of us, especially the new generation of us, but although my family's Jamaican, none of us are homophobic. None of us view gay people differently than we view ourselves. Not even my grandma. Like, my grandma believes that God loves everybody. It doesn't matter who you love, God loves you. You know what I'm saying? My grandma is a strong believer in that, okay? So my grandma has no problem with them being on stage and performing and dressing up as Beyonce and Mariah Carey and looking fly as shit. She had no problem with that. What the problem is now, sir, is the fact that y'all is cussing and busting it wide open on the stage. Okay? Now, we can't have that. No, not with my grandmama's pure heart. We can't do that. Hello? So when he told me that, I was like my grandma is going to hear this and see the twerking and be very, very uncomfortable, and I already feel very uncomfortable. I didn't say this to him, but what I did was I told Cameron in his ear, take grandma outside and just go. Grab grandma, take her outside. As Cameron is grabbing grandma and taking her outside, grandma didn't know what was going on, because grandma was just like looking around like this. Because on stage the guy was twerking, like ass up in the air twerking. I was like, yo, when's the next show? Because I could come here by myself and watch it. But Granny, you gotta go. So as Cameron and grandma are leaving now, the next thing I hear is, come on stage and let me suck your... I was like, no. No. My mom was standing up like... My mom's boyfriend is like... And I'm just like, this is not the place for a family. This is not a place for a family to be. And I felt so awkward because my mom is there and they're cussing. Like, they're swearing, they're talking about sex, they're... Oh my, it was so uncomfortable for me. You guys don't even understand. They look fabulous though. They look bomb as shit. I was about to ask one of them what their highlighter was, because it was popping. But it was the cussing, it was the swearing, it was the twerking, it was the sexual gestures. It was a mess. But I did take a flyer just in case me and my girls go to New York, because honestly I was watching the show like this from the side of my eye, because I was like, they were making mad jokes and I was dead ass laughing in my head, but I couldn't laugh out loud because it was a serious situation. My grandma was hearing all of this, okay? So Cameron cameraman took my granny outside. Me and my mom's boyfriend continued to sit down and watch the show. It got more graphic. It got more sexual. There was more cursing and a lot of twerking. Like, it was so uncomfortable to be around that with my mom beside me. Like, my mom's boyfriend, he can handle whatever. My mom is also a very, what's the word I'm looking for? Well-mannered woman. I know her heart couldn't take that, okay? So anyways, the show ended. My grandma came back. We told Cameron to bring grandma back, and we sat down to eat dinner, and the guy was like, you know, I didn't realize that you guys would feel uncomfortable, like da-da-da-da. And my grandma was like, no, it's not that we're uncomfortable with the people on stage. It's more what they're talking about and what they're saying and them cussing that is making us uncomfortable. So he's like, I apologize, I'm sorry. He brought us our food. The food was delectable. We talked about the business ventures and all of that. And then my grandma turned to my mom and said, I thought I raised you better than this. Everybody started laughing. I was like, is this my fault? Is this my fault? Is it? For the rest of the day, my grandma would not stop being mad at my mom. My grandma was mad at my mom, even though my mom didn't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't my fault either. It was the person who, you know, you should be asking the people like, who's coming, what are they interested in, and this is where we're gonna be doing it at, and this is what's gonna be happening, so I could have the ability to say yes or no, you know what I'm saying? But he didn't do none of that, so we just ended up at a drag show, and my poor granny was like shocked. She was shooketh. She was shooketh. She was shooketh. Either way, at the end of the day, my mom's boyfriend always has a way of making everyone laugh and smile. So he was making jokes out of it, and my grandma slowly started lightening up, and she was over it. But it was a horrific moment, and I'll never forget that, and I wanted to share it with you guys because I was shocked and I didn't know what to do. That was the first time in my life I had nothing to say. For real. That's how I feel, okay? Make sure you guys follow me on Snapchat, Twitter, and Instagram, all that jazz in the description box down below for your convenience. Leave a comment down below and let me know if anything like this has ever happened to you. What's the most awkward situation that you've ever been in with a parent or a grandparent or someone of authoritative figure? I'd love to hear your story. Leave it in the comment section down below. Secret contest is still going on for those of you guys who are asking. It ends October 31st. 30 days, has September, April, June, and November, all the rest of 31. Yeah, October 31st is when it ends. If you don't know what the secret contest is, watch the last story time and go to the end and you'll figure it out, okay? And don't tell nobody, because the more people who know, the less chance you have of winning. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I love you guys so much. Don't gotta tell you twice, and I'll see you on the flip side. Bye! I don't know why I put my foot up like that. I'm sorry.